1992 was the golden year of hip-hop.
When I was small, they used to tease me because my hair was cheesy, hard and greasy. But now I'm
The Chronic, Daily Operation, Bizarre Ride, instant classics.
To turn around and do the same damn thing to a solo.
But incredible songs got lost in the shuffle. Tracks that charted, influenced culture, then disappeared from memory.
To be on this planet Earth, I take a deep breath.
Today we resurrect 10 forgotten bangers from 1992 you need to hear again. Hit subscribe and let's bring them back. Number 10, Funky Child, Lords of the Underground. Actually released early 1993, but represents the culmination of 1992's musical trends. This debut single introduced a Newark group with undeniable chemistry and infectious energy. The three MCs, Do It All, Mr. Funk, and DJ Lord Jazz, brought playful lyricism over boom-bap production from Marley Marl. The hook was simple and repetitive in the best way, designed to get stuck in your head immediately. The song wasn't trying to be revolutionary. It wasn't political or deeply conceptual. It was just three talented MCs having fun over a hard beat. Proving that sometimes simplicity executed perfectly beats complexity done poorly. It peaked at number 74 on the Billboard Hot 100 and got significant MTV play. The video featured the group performing in a basement with friends, and capturing the raw energy of hip-hop culture in that era. The album went gold, and the group seemed positioned for long-term success.
Now witness the birth of Mr. Funky.
But subsequent releases didn't match the debut's impact. By the mid-90s, Lords of the Underground were already being forgotten. The problem was saturation. Dozens of talented crews emerged in the early 90s, all making quality music. Only the most distinctive or fortunate broke through to superstardom. Lords had skills, but not quite enough uniqueness to stand out long-term. Still, this track represents everything great about early 90s hip-hop. Strong fundamentals, genuine chemistry, and infectious energy. It's a reminder that not every classic needs to be groundbreaking. Sometimes being really good at the basics is enough. Number 9. Recognize thresholds of negative stress. Organized Confusion. October 1991. Another late 1991 release that dominated 1992 underground culture. Pharoah Monch and Prince Poe delivered one of the most lyrically complex tracks ever recorded. The title alone intimidated listeners. The wordplay was dense, requiring multiple listens to catch every reference and metaphor. This wasn't accessible hip-hop. This was linguistic gymnastics over experimental production. Monch's verse was particularly impressive. His internal rhyme schemes, multi-syllabic patterns, and conceptual depth set a new standard for technical rapping. He wasn't just rhyming words, he was constructing elaborate verbal architecture. The production matched the complexity. Unconventional sample choices, off-kilter drums, and a structure that defied traditional verse-chorus-verse formatting. This was art rap before that term existed. Radio ignored it completely. MTV never played the video. Mainstream audiences found it too challenging, but underground heads treated it like scripture. This was the track you used to separate real hip-hop fans from casual listeners. The influence reached far. Eminem studied Pharaoh Monch's rhyme patterns. MF Doom's oblique lyricism connected to what organized Konfusion pioneered. Kendrick's layered wordplay owes a debt to this track, but it remained cult status. The group never achieved commercial success despite critical acclaim. They were too advanced for their era, creating music that would be better appreciated a decade later. Today it's recognized as one of the most important underground releases of the 90s. But it deserves mainstream recognition for pushing hip-hop's boundaries. Number 8. Excursions, A Tribe Called Quest. September 1991. Technically released late 1991, but it defined 1992 hip-hop culture. The opening track from the Low End Theory established the album's jazz-influenced aesthetic immediately. Q-Tip's opening line became iconic. He declared that rap was not pop, that those who said it contradicted themselves. It was a mission statement defending hip-hop's artistic integrity against commercialization pressures. The production was minimalist, a simple upright bass line sampled from Art Blakey, subtle drums. Q-Tip and Phife trading verses over the jazz foundation. No flashy scratches or dramatic hooks, just pure skill over an elegant backdrop. The song never charted as a single, but it became essential listening for anyone who cared about hip-hop as art. College students analyzed the lyrics. DJs studied the production. MCs tried to match the effortless flow. The Low End Theory went platinum and is now considered one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever. But while songs like Scenario and Check the Rhyme get more attention, this opening track set the tone for everything that followed. It influenced everyone. The Roots built their entire aesthetic around live instrumentation and jazz fusion after hearing this. J Dilla's production philosophy connected directly to what Q-Tip was doing here. Kendrick Lamar cited this album as foundational. But casual fans skip past it to get to the more accessible tracks. That's a mistake. This is where Tribe declared who they were and what they stood for. This is where they proved hip-hop could be intellectual without being pretentious. Number 7. I Got a Man, Positive K Brooklyn rapper. Positive K created a conversational track that became a crossover hit.
I'll tell you that I want you and tell you that I care.
The song was structured as a back and forth between Positive K trying to flirt with a woman who repeatedly rejects him.
What your man got to do with me?
The genius was that Positive K performed both voices. He rapped his own verses normally, then pitched his voice higher to perform the woman's responses.
Now you're talking, baby, that's the ticket. Now don't get excited.
The effect was humorous without being disrespectful. The woman in the song was confident, clear about her boundaries, and never portrayed negatively.
Me know the spot on your body and I'll bite you. So when your man don't treat you.
The hook was simple and memorable. Every rejection ended with her saying she has a man. His attempts to get around this fact were creative, but unsuccessful.
The same except he's sincere. Well, I'm clean cutting down, brother.
The song was funny, clever, and surprisingly respectful for 1992 hip-hop.
That again.
It peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. I'm making it a legitimate crossover hit.
How long you had that problem? What your man got to do?
The music video got heavy MTV rotation. Radio played it constantly. This should have made Positive K a star, but he couldn't replicate the success.
Be lovers and we can't be friends.
Well, then I guess it's nothing.
Well, hey, I solve them.
I got a man.
You got a what?
Follow-up singles didn't chart as high. The album sold modestly, but didn't go platinum. By 1993, Positive K was already fading from mainstream consciousness. The problem was novelty.
One of those girls that go whipping around.
I'm not a duck, baby, so don't play me.
Once people heard the concept, the uniqueness wore off. Later attempts to recreate the conversational style felt repetitive.
You won't love and you don't have to ask when. Your man's ahead.
Positive K was a skilled MC, but this song overshadowed everything else he did.
Tell me, is it so? Do you get a kick out of telling brothers no?
Still, it deserves recognition as one of the cleverest singles of 1992.
So when I blow up, don't try to kick it to me later.
All them girls.
The execution was flawless, the humor landed perfectly, and it proved hip-hop could be playful without being misogynistic.
$10 and you straight get blessed. So rap all
Number 6, In the Trunk, Too Short.
so give it up and stop kissing everybody's butt.
Too Short released his 9th studio album. By this point, he'd perfected his formula.
Terry, so your punks can't join, it ain't pop. It's called
Explicit stories over funk-heavy production, all delivered in his distinctive drawl.
when I hear your tape, I push eject, then I throw it out.
This track was different from his usual content.
Say nothing to me. They never could hang with short baby.
Instead of graphic sexual narratives, Short rapped about riding around Oakland with a massive sound system,
I love P-Funk, but now rap music.
girls in the car, and weed in rotation.
Everybody got addicted to my doping beat. Whole town got
It was a celebration of Bay Area car culture.
to the one and only. I grew up on the funk call.
The production was pure Bay Area funk,
I don't stop rapping, that's all I can say. And
heavy bass that rattled trunks, smooth synthesizers, a tempo perfect for cruising.
where I'm from, that just ain't how it is.
This was music designed to be played loud while driving slowly through the neighborhood, showing off your system.
Tapes, you won't get paid like I did, so give up.
The song charted modestly, but it became essential in the Bay Area.
All underground rap from Oakland, California, and it's
Every car show, every sideshow,
the way they use it all up and didn't pay the man. And after 3,
and every gathering of lowriders and Chevy Impalas featured this track.
withdraw some money and buy some dang. The way you
It was regional anthem status, but national audiences didn't catch on.
before I got my break. So I wonder why rappers make fake.
G-Funk from LA was dominating, and Too Short's Bay Area sound felt regional rather than revolutionary.
When I do, I'm going straight to the bank.
Dr. Dre got the mainstream attention, while Short remained a West Coast legend without crossover success. The influence was undeniable, though.
But these little kids growing up on me.
Every Bay Area rapper after Too Short understood that car culture and sound systems were essential to the regional identity.
And when I'm on the stage, I start pimping.
E40, Mac Dre, and later Mr. FRB all referenced this era.
I lock you up back there in the trunk and start slamming that.
Short went platinum multiple times despite limited radio play.
You rap so fast, you keep leaving the beat. I'm from the old school.
His independent success proved major label support wasn't necessary.
That's why they listen to the one and only. I
But songs like this deserved more recognition beyond the Bay Area.
don't think that way. It took 8 long years
It's a perfect snapshot of Oakland in 1992, preserved in 4 minutes of funk.
in the trunk with the booming box while the young girls ride.
Halfway through 10 forgotten classics from 1992. If you're discovering tracks you forgot existed, hit subscribe right now. More hidden gems coming. 5 more forgotten bangers ahead. Stay with me. Number 5, Wicked, Ice Cube.
I get skins and ain't talking about pork.
November 1992. Ice Cube's 3rd solo album dropped just months after the LA riots.
Black boots stepping, you must still toe as a weapon. Kick your
The Predator was his response to the chaos, and the hardest track on it was pure anger.
1, 2, 3, and I come with the wicked.
Built on a menacing bass line and ominous horn stabs, the production felt like a threat. Cube's delivery was vicious, attacking everything from police to fake gangsters to society's hypocrisy. This wasn't "It Was a Good Day." This was Cube at his most dangerous. The song didn't have a catchy hook. It didn't sample a recognizable funk classic.
29 horsepower to the people, and we might just see a sequel.
It was just relentless bars over a hard beat,
Got me a plan to break Tyson out of prison. Come my way and get served.
with Cube spitting some of his most aggressive verses. Lines about violence and revenge made radio programmers uncomfortable. MTV gave it limited play during late-night hours. Pop stations avoided it entirely. Even hip-hop stations that supported Cube hesitated because the content was too intense for daytime rotation.
But it's Willie Williams down with the Pilgrim.
The album went platinum immediately, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 200.
Just a super slave. We'll have to break his ass up.
But while It Was a Good Day and Check Yourself became singles,
This bring the yellow tape, the white tape.
tracks like this remained album cuts that only dedicated fans discovered.
Before I bust, looking for the one that did it, but like in
The irony is that this represents Cube's artistic peak.
don't say nothing, just listen.
The wordplay is sharper than his NWA work.
Like Super Dave, I'm wicked enough to afford.
The flow is more refined than his earlier solo material.
People wanna know how come I gotta get
The content directly addressed the racial tensions exploding across America.
break from the mist, but I don't miss when it comes to
But radio wanted the accessible Ice Cube, not the angry one. They wanted the version who made songs white teenagers could sing along to,
got the makeup by behavior, ready to go.
not the version who made them uncomfortable about systemic racism.
Cause I'm so straight, through with the picket sign.
This track deserved to be a single. It deserved mainstream recognition.
And I come with the wicked style when you know that I'm from the wicked crew.
Instead, it became a deep cut that only real Ice Cube fans know. #4, Ever Vibrant, Bushwick Bill.
But you know to be sweeter if I make a shooting me.
Bushwick Bill, the diminutive Ghetto Boys member, released his solo debut.
And another follows. Cause hardship is
The album's standout track told the story of the night he lost his eye in a shooting incident that almost killed him.
short. It's just another strike against me.
The song was brutally honest. Bill described drinking heavily, getting into an argument with his girlfriend, and attempting suicide by cop.
A long time ago. But now I've got a
When police didn't arrive fast enough, he convinced his girlfriend to shoot him. The bullet entered through his eye.
round. I got friends and women on my tip.
This wasn't gangster posturing. This was trauma laid bare.
Punched her, kicked her, and choked her. But she's
The production was haunting, with minor key melodies that reinforced the darkness of the narrative.
ready to take my pain out on. But not just
Bill's voice carried pain and confusion as he recounted the worst night of his life.
reminiscing. Got me feeling kinda low. I broke.
The Ghetto Boys had always pushed boundaries, but this was different.
Call me crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm tripping.
This was personal confession, not street tales. And Bill wasn't glorifying violence.
But I knew she wouldn't do it on her own, so I provoked her.
He was documenting his own self-destructive spiral and the consequences. Radio wouldn't touch it. MTV banned the album cover, which showed Bill in a hospital bed, his eye freshly bandaged.
But as the time went by, I got another slimmy, and she was just
Conservative groups cited it as evidence that gangster rap promoted suicide and violence.
kinda hard to swallow. See, it's rough being a loner. Not
But the song resonated deeply with listeners dealing with depression, addiction, and suicidal thoughts.
play the quiet type, and for a little while things seemed
Bill's honesty gave voice to struggles that hip-hop rarely addressed.
who only wanna juke me black. They tell me that
He wasn't a tough guy. He was a broken person trying to survive.
she snatched the baby out of my hands. We
The album sold well despite the controversy, going gold by year's end.
still love me and all that. But really they just
But this track specifically was too dark for casual listeners.
got the Everclear, and then I drunk some more.
It disappeared from rotation quickly, remembered only by dedicated Ghetto Boys fans and those who connected with its raw honesty.
Truth or dare.
Today it stands as one of the most honest depictions of mental health struggles in hip-hop history. Number 3. Lay Schmoove, Fu-Schnickens, featuring Phife Dawg. Brooklyn's Fu-Schnickens brought rapid-fire delivery and playful energy to hip-hop. Their style was influenced by Das EFX's stuttering flow, but with more humor and less darkness. The group consisted of Chip Fu, Mock Fu, and Poc Fu. They rapped fast, often finishing each other's sentences, creating a conversational flow that felt spontaneous even when carefully scripted. Their wordplay was impressive without being overly serious. For this single, they recruited Phife Dawg from a tribe called Quest. Phife's presence gave the track credibility with backpack hip-hop fans who might have dismissed Fu-Schnickens as gimmicky. His verse was characteristically smooth, providing contrast to the group's frantic energy. The production was jazz-influenced with a bouncing bass line that made it perfect for parties.
Not only is it the lyrics, alright, it's my delivery. Name one.
This wasn't conscious rap or gangster rap. It was just fun, well-crafted hip-hop designed to make people move. The song charted at number 47 on R&B/hip-hop songs and received significant club play. The music video featured all 4 rappers in coordinated outfits, doing synchronized movements, embracing the playful aesthetic fully. But Fu-Schnickens faced the same problem many novelty-adjacent acts encountered. Critics didn't take them seriously enough to consider them important, while casual fans saw them as one-hit wonders once their momentum slowed. The reality is, they were skilled MCs who chose to prioritize entertainment over pretension.
Get on the board, lay down the track, and I'll do 10 laps. Pass the pen, pass the...
Their technical ability was undeniable. Their chemistry was genuine.
Fashion monster, mashing, boom, bashing in a fashion which is wild. Now I smile when I...
And tracks like this proved they could make hits without compromising their style. This deserves to be remembered as one of 1992's most enjoyable tracks.
Is it because I'm rocking beats?
A reminder that hip-hop can be fun without being shallow. Number 2. Typical American, The Goats. Philadelphia's The Goats released one of the most politically radical albums of the decade. While gangster rap dominated headlines, The Goats were dismantling American capitalism, racism, and imperialism with surgical precision. The lead track opened with a sample and immediately attacked consumer culture, blind patriotism, and systemic oppression. The group consisted of Oati Kato, Mad, and Swayzak. 3 MCs who sounded nothing like their contemporaries. Their production was experimental, layering jazz samples with hard drums and unconventional song structures. The lyrics referenced Malcolm X, criticized Desert Storm, and challenged listeners to think beyond what mainstream media fed them. Radio stations didn't know what to do with it. The content was too radical for pop stations, and the sound was too experimental for hardcore hip-hop stations. MTV gave it limited play, mostly on late-night alternative shows. But underground heads knew, college radio championed it. The album became essential listening in activist circles and among listeners who wanted substance over style. This wasn't party music, it was revolution music. The Goats toured relentlessly, performing at universities and small clubs where their message resonated with students and activists. They influenced groups like Dead Prez and Immortal Technique, who would carry political hip-hop forward years later. The problem was commercial viability. Major labels didn't know how to market radical content in an era focused on gangster narratives and party anthems. The Goats remained underground by circumstance, not choice. Today, the album is recognized as ahead of its time. The production techniques they pioneered became standard. The political critiques they made remain relevant. This track deserves recognition as one of 1992's most important contributions to conscious hip-hop.
The same damn thing to a solo. Punch Reggie Noble's hit.
Number 1. Time for Some Action. Redman, September 1992.
Ready to rock. I got a Glock 10 pound. Your body is all over the...
A 22-year-old Newark rapper named Redman exploded onto the scene with his debut album produced entirely by Eric Sermon. The lead single was pure chaos wrapped in funk. Redman's delivery was unlike anything on radio. His flow switched tempos mid-verse. His voice cracked and growled.
His squad's definitely in the house.
And his wordplay was simultaneously clever and completely unhinged.
My brother, I'm time for some action.
He wasn't trying to sound like Rakim or Kane. He sounded like Redman. The track sampled Cypress Hill's How I Could Just Kill a Man and flipped it into something frantic.
Sober, man. Yo, you don't gotta say no.
The beat knocked hard, the scratches were aggressive, and Redman rapped like he'd consumed 5 energy drinks and needed to get every thought out before the beat ended.
1992,
The song peaked at number 13 on Hot Rap Singles. MTV played the video in rotation, and the album went gold. By all metrics, this was a hit.
Who's the red man? Where's the red man? I killed.
Yet somehow, when people discuss 1992, Redman gets overlooked. Part of the problem was timing. The song dropped the same month as Dr. Dre's Nothing But a G-Thang. Redman was bringing East Coast boom bap, while the West Coast was introducing G-Funk to the world.
Show you where the hell I come from. I get done with the 112. Check my...
Media attention shifted west, but Redman's influence was massive.
Not going for the okey doke.
His chaotic energy inspired Method Man. His humor influenced Eminem.
Everybody jump with your rump. If you like the way the sound bumps pumping in your back.
And his willingness to be weird opened doors for artists who didn't fit the mold.
To the midst of a funky brain cell when it's pumped on the spliff. And all...
This wasn't just a good debut single. It was the introduction of one of hip-hop's most unique voices. The track still bangs today. The flow patterns are still studied. The energy is still infectious. It's time to put Time for Some Aksion back in rotation where it belongs.